What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 3 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Mother Ostankya Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, our ball was very much defeated and promptly eaten by spiders, wherein he was, well, foolishly out in our territory declaring war on us randomly, because I guess maybe he couldn't handle or pieced out with Boris Ursus. Worked out decently well for us, though of course his faction does still have a couple of armies running around, and let's see how much territory. 4 settlements, so it'll probably be a bit of a while before we wipe him out for good, and we'll probably have to meet him in battle again. For now, though, we'll probably be turning to Ostrogoth Ironhand, because he's also in our territory with 2 armies, and very likely to attack us as well. I don't imagine he likes us all that much either, though I do notice that the aversion is a -40 on the Chaos Dwarfs, and like the 100 on the regular Chaos factions, so yeah, I mean, they're Chaos Dwarfs, they'll probably trade with anybody willing. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this particular turn, I think there isn't much, if there's anything at all. I guess we could upgrade this little grand courthouse, although to be perfectly frank, our money situation ain't that good, and maybe we should just wait until we're ready. So, you know what, I think we can just end the turn and see what Ostrogoth and Code do. Really got to get this thing up to tier 3, but anyway, skip this and Ostankya. You know what, let's level you up just in case we get attacked immediately. Now, we do want to max out Vengeance of the Spirits, because we are likely to be using it in every single battle. I think, well, Forbidden Femmes will be fairly useful too, in theory. Although probably more so for the very, very cheap, I notice. Wait. Is it 1 cost? Is it generally 1 cost or nah? Okay, so it'll be 1 cost after we get the level 2 variant, which is pretty good. It'll basically allow us to spam Fate of the Interlopers and have it up constantly, or at least as long as this thing isn't on cooldown, which is fairly short as well. Anyway, obviously we're going to be using you to cast. You know, let's get Force Purity, or else it's just going to bother me. It's minus 50% attrition anyway, so it's not like it isn't useful. Not general attrition, just chaos attrition, but, well, of all the attritions, that's the attrition that we're most likely to encounter. Attrition. Just had to say it one more time. And, alright, it does look like Ostrogoth and his little minion here decided to wipe out the last army of the Goromadni tribe, who are now destroyed. And Kalos and Morkar are still moving towards Yechich there. And, ooh, hello. Spirit Essence, Standard of Empty Step is fine, but the White Cloak of Ulrich with that melee attack -8 is pretty solid. It's a fairly short range, I'll admit, but it's still a nice thing to have, a very nice thing to have. Ah, yes, okay, spider units cause slow death effect. I was very curious about this last episode, so... Oh, great, we got the Zinchen corruption thing up and running. What I would like to see... Okay, first of all, let's get the 3rd hag in here. I also want to compare the hags in a second. I wanted to see what the slow death does. Okay, so it does take away their poison and replace the poison with slow death, which is kind of interesting. I actually wish that this slow deaths thing, maybe it would only apply to the giant spiders and not the regular spiders. It might be nice to be able to keep both poisons, because poison is a really solid debuff to have. And now, by virtue of it, we have no access to it. Do we have anything else in the roster that can apply poisons? Or is that it? Because then it's certainly an argument to be made for keeping a few of the... Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that gives us poison here. And yeah, and poison is also a nice combination with frostbite, although in that particular case it would be better at range. But anyway, I was saying it's a nice argument to be made for keeping a hag with poison around. But anyway, I'd still like to see how these guys perform, which we will do so in several seconds. First of all... Alright, let's get the White Cloak of Ulrich here. We are going to be fighting 2 Chaos Dwarf armies, and that may be significant. You're the one that's buffing everybody, aren't you? With the brass cleaver and such, so we'll give you the White Cloak of Ulrich for now. Be a little bit more armor as well. At a loss of the physical resistance, but we can just put that on somebody else. And frankly, the White Cloak of Ulrich will probably eventually go to this army, but, well, it's not right now. Huh. Question, how does this sally thing work now? Are we able to reinforce sallying armies? I am not sure, although I'm also thinking that this army would probably run if we tried to sally out. Though I am interested to find out. Let's try this first. If we take you and then we do this, Would this army reinforce or would it not? I'm going to assume that we can still cancel the attack. And alright, we still can attack this. Is this worth fighting? I mean, I guess we could see the Ice Guard in action and a little bit more action for the Streltsy and for the Watchmen and the Knights, so maybe why not? It's not going to be a too difficult fight, but you shouldn't underestimate Forsaken of Khorne, or just Forsaken in general. Very, very solid unit for their costs, and that's why they tend to be, or tended to be spammed with Chaos Spawn in multiplayer. But anyway, go. Alright, here we go. We've got the debut of the Ice Guard, as well as the Watchers in the Night Armored Kossars. And, well, I'm sure we'll see plenty more of these guys as we get teched up and go later into the campaign, but for now they're probably going to be relegated to the, to defensive garrisons. Also, speaking of, going to be a few moments until we get the other army in here, especially since the enemy is not attacking, so we don't really have to worry. And they're nearly there. Can't wait to see what those Watchers in the Night can do. I, once again, absolutely loved using them in the Tsarina Katrin campaign. 2 of them at once. They cut their way through so many enemies in brawls, leading the Kossar armies there. It was pretty darn nice. They are still pretty solid here, 48-45 melee attack and defense, and frenzy as well. 8.2k health. Yeah, I got so used to SFO health values that I get confused by seeing regular vanilla health values. Anyway, looks like the enemy will ignore us, and we're going to take advantage of it by taking a much better position than we otherwise would have. We've got a nice little bit of terrain that we can use to block the enemy from attacking the right flank, and then we can protect the left flank, hopefully, ourselves. Looks like the enemy's not going to move towards us without a little bit of persuading, and so the Ice Guard are going to move forward and try to do a little bit of damage to the enemy Khorngors. Volley away now. Right, guys, there we go. It seems like they were taking aim for quite the while there. Anyway, why Khorngors? Mostly because they have reasonably heavy armor, let's say middle armor, 60 armor unless I'm mistaken, as compared to the Marauders and the Bloodletters, all of which can be easily dealt with by the Kossars. Well, I don't know about easily because of their numbers, but at least dealt with by the Kossars. Anyway, the idea here is that since the Ice Guard have a longer range, they'll plunk away at the Khorngors, and not doing a crazy amount of damage to them, admittedly, but the goal here isn't to do damage so much as to annoy the enemy. I also note that, we've used about 20% of our ammunition to do maybe 30% damage to a single unit of Khorngors, which is a basic tier 2 unit, so without buffs, the Ice Guard remain relatively weak. But of course, with buffs, they get pretty darn insane, as any elite any elite range unit does tend to get. And of course, this is also the Twin Blade unit, so they'll be fighting in melee as needed if they should run out of ammunition. Anyway, looks like the gambit, as it were, paid off. And the enemy army is moving towards us, and ooh, I like the black cloaks with the golden armor of the Boydanov's Brawlers. These two look quite nice together. Honestly, I'd love an armor, just a full army with this theme. Just a bunch of Watchmen in the Night together with a bunch of Boydanov's Brawlers looking Streltsy, not necessarily the Regiment of Renown itself, but yeah, would be nice for the color scheme. But anyway, those blunderbusses of the Boydanov's Brawlers will dish out plenty of damage to the Marauders of Khorne here, who lose about half of their HP as they charge on. And a unit of Khorngors will charge, however, and start hacking their way through the Kislevite warriors there. But the Kislevite warriors are all squared up and ready to defend, just blocking the enemy off while our Kossars with bows and dish out the damage. The enemy lords, Lord and Hero, have arrived. Our Boyar will be dueling the enemy, dueling the tree, dueling the enemy Blood Reaper, while the enemy Lord, the enemy Herald, is surrounded by the Watchmen in the night. Oh, and somebody had a pretty bad day, but we do have more of them where that came from. Alright, Forsaken, and, well, pretty much all the entire enemy army still being held back by our Kislevite warriors. And Boyar blood is a really nice thing to have on your basic troops because of the fact that even as they lose to higher tier units like Bloodletters and such, they will still hold long enough to continue dishing out range damage to them, which works out quite well. Enemy tried to attack us with some Chaos Warhounds, and admittedly they did take about half of the HP off some units of Kossars, but will be chased off by the Kossovite Dervishes, who will, after they're done here, charge into the flanks of these units that remain in the melee fight. The enemy hero has been defeated by our Boyar, very nice, who will now switch to attacking the enemy Herald, who is also in pretty bad shape. And it does look like the Marauders of Khorne and the Bloodletters are moving upward as the Kislevite warriors finally shatter or rout. But it also looks like the balance of power has shifted to our favor, in fact, completely shifted to our favor with the defeat of the enemy Lord, and with that, the battle is ours just as the enemy were about to climb up. Lovely. Nice little fight. We were able to hold our sort of formation, the territory, the land, the terrain that we were given by the AI not taking advantage of our moving. That said, our Kislevite warriors were, all 4 of the units were nearly destroyed, but, well, what do you expect from them? Anyway, very nice. We're going to chase the enemy down. We only have the Lord and the Kossovite Dervishes on horseback, but they can destroy at least a couple of units, I hope. Alright, there we go. The Kislevite warriors, of course, did get decimated, but, well, that's what they're there for, so hardly surprising. And they're, well, starting to reach rank 5, so soon they'll be able to become armored Kossars, and thus a teensy bit stronger. Nice work otherwise, though I am now also wondering whether the sallying point of the settlement garrison also meant that we could have potentially attacked with the main stack instead. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't show that, that little reinforcement yellow arrow thing that it usually does. So, anyway, we're going to take the money because we really need it right now, even though I would like the oh, actually, the replenishment wouldn't even be useful to us here. So, anyway, pardon the captives. We'll figure out about the other thing later. I assume we can chase down and destroy the remnants of this force as well. So, we'll do that. Like so, and man, this guy keeps getting into fights that I was not expecting him to continue getting into. Just a random summon lord, but I guess we have a history of random summon lords in our Kislev campaigns doing really, really well and then becoming legends, so it's a distinct possibility. Borodin Ribkin, keep working on it, bud. And, oh, I want to give that Banner of Swiftness to Ostankya, actually, but we'll give you the Fear Terror banner, the Wailing banner, on resolve. And it's not enough healing to be worth it, and I think we're actually out of our own province now, so we'll go for Pardon Captives again. And it's also not enough Spirit Essence to be worth our time. And then you can, I guess, ooh, you're gonna have to March Stance. I was hoping to recruit some stuff this turn, but all good. Oh, actually I think we were at the edge of our province. Oh, that's fine. And an Infreopal Amulet. Alright, let's redo the items real quick. So, Ostankya, you can have the Banner of Swiftness, because it's going to be better than just Strider from Father Nicholas's mantle. I don't know why they make these sort of atrocious banners, and like the War Banner, for example, is great in SFO, but pretty terrible in vanilla. They really need to redo those, or rework some of those. What else do we have here? A Luckstone that I don't really care for. Frankly, a Luckstone Obsidian Trinket can be fused into an Obsidian Amulet. Oh, fair enough, game. Screw you, but fair enough. Range for Ostankya versus physical resistance. I'm going to say resistance is actually probably the better choice here. And you, well, frankly, Ostankya is the one that's overcasting right now, and We'll keep the other items around for now. Alright, you can, I guess, have the Strider thing instead, Father Nicholas's mantle. Or, wait, I guess we could also put it on Big Boy. Yeah, make him... Wait, unless... Do you already have Strider? Let's see. Oh, yeah, already has Strider, meaning it's useless, at least in this army. So yeah, we'll take this, we'll give it to the Boyar, who I assume will not have any kind of Strider. And I guess we could put the... Oh, actually, we could put it on the Watchman in the Night. Vanguard deployment not crazy useful to us, although in another army... I suppose all the spiders can Vanguard deploy, can't they? And the things in the woods can as well. If we give the Vanguard deployment to the Incarnate Elemental, that might be fairly nice as well. Ostankya and the Hags, however, cannot, so they wouldn't be able to keep up. Oh, right, the Hags. I want to make a quick comparison. So the Hag Witch of Beasts have Kolduna's Spirit, which is the summoning of the things in the woods. The Hag Witch of Shadows has Voroshea's Foresight, Missile Resistance, Missile Block Chance, and Armor Reduction for Hexes. Oh, that's interesting. As a Hex, rather. Well, this would probably indicate that we may want to use Shadow Hags to support ranged armies, because it's not a bad debuff. Is it an area debuff? Affects enemies in range max 1. Oh, okay, so it's basically just for sniping a single entity, which is, kind of meh. What about you, Death? Death has Narkaria's Ward 10% ward save, or damage resistance. For 26 seconds, all allies in range, although the effect range is rather small, and its 2 uses, not horrible. So far, I'm liking the Hag Witch of Beasts the best, and we are still missing the Lure of Hags one, which I guess we'll try out later. Alright, next we can do building. Definitely gotta prioritize that merchant trader. I assume we have no upgrades for you. We do have techs, however, and we gotta finish up with formalized dogma to get the hero capacity and recruit rank for patriarchs, as I'm sure we'll get our first ones up and running soon. After that... Ooh, wait. Discouraged effect on the things in the woods. Granted, we don't have a lot of them, though. And just the one. But nonetheless, they do seem to be pretty big targets, and frankly, I wish I had it before we inevitably fight these guys. Next, we will take a look at the other places. Okay, so Prague is ready to go. We'll definitely want to get the Sawyer up and running. And I guess we'll want to... Oh, wow, that's expensive, isn't it? But we need to be able to recruit patriarchs, and we can't do that elsewhere. I do wish it wasn't so horrifically expensive. We'll probably get rid of the barracks in this particular territory because, frankly, we don't have the room for it. Oh, but we also absolutely need to build a stall. Yeah. No, we gotta prioritize the stall. Frankly, get rid of the Kosar hut. We don't have one here, though, do we? And we deleted the one. No, we still have the one in Help It. And Help It won't give us the ability to build special buildings like this place. Alright, fine. Get rid of the one at Prague. And your Purge the Steppes is fine. You're also in Purge the Steppes, and everybody's in Purge the Steppes. The Steppes needed purging. What about this? We have Confident and Perceptive. Neither one I really care for, but we're not going to get that Lord in immediately. Let's double check Diplo, and then let's go to our next fight. Ooh, actually... Before we go to the next fight, let's get just a couple of our first names in there, shall we? Kshina Ambushers, let's start with you. Bearskin Sharp Shooters, obviously we'll have a lot more Kshina Ambushers and stuff. Incarnate Elemental Beasts, okay, as usual with the big tier 5 monsters, I got a ton of suggestions for these guys, so most of you guys are gonna have to wait on those. One name did get suggested twice by 2 different people, so that's the one we're gonna go with for this guy. Thing in the Woods. There's things in the woods and there's the thing in the woods. Delete it. Lovely. Things in the woods, speaking of, let's go growl over the grove. And let's do a couple of spiders as well. We're going to be pretty spider heavy after all. How about Silktide? I like the name. And how about Arachnophobia? Alright, lots of other names, but we'll apply them where needed as we get them. I guess it's time to declare war on Astrogoth, who's currently at war with the Saberskin, but we have no contact with them and thus can do nothing about it. Declare war. Yes. I just had a thought. How much do these guys cost? Determined and Judicator, right? I mean, we could get one of these guys on field and get them off field after. I do wish we had better, a better trait here, but what we could do is essentially get the bonus XP from being nearby and then take them off field. Alright, fine. Let's do the Perceptive Druzhina. I like the magic item drop chance, generally speaking. More magic items is always better. I assume... Ooh, wait. Ostankya, I would like you to move here. It's gonna cost you some movement, but it is what it is. I want you to move in. We got the Spirit Essence from that. And I guess we go. Alright, let's attack this guy. Astrogoth will reinforce, assuming he doesn't run, but he will not. Ostankya, you're gonna get that Banner of Swiftness, get you Strider and Wayfarer, and be difficult to catch. Not as difficult as Serena Katrin was in her campaign, I'm sure, but well enough. Valiant defeat, casualties high. There's way too many range in the enemy army. We also got the Bull Centaur renders and 2 Demon Engines to contend with. That should be a pretty fun fight and a fairly difficult one at that, I'd wager. Let's get to it.
You know the horrors of the deep forest. You know what lies in store for those who oppose me. Take heart, for today I am on your side.
Alrighty, here we go. 2 stacks of Chaos Dwarfs, so admittedly mostly of the Hobgob variety, stand against the Ostankya. And, well, 2 stacks is a lot of units, and there's 10 units of Hobgob archers as well as a couple of Demon Engines in this army, before even counting the second army that is going to arrive. So, we have Vanguard deployed, all the units that can Vanguard deploy here, and the goal is to... Oh wow, look at those spiders leaping. What was I saying? Got distracted by the spiders doing spider things. Spider things. Anyway, yeah, they're gonna charge on in and they're gonna tie up as many of the enemy Hobgob archers as we can, while both of our Kshina ambushers try to focus down that Iron Demon. Can't be letting this thing escape, and it does have range damage, but it also is reasonably fragile. Can't get away with the spiders blocking it, and the Kshina ambushers should be able to bring it down. At the cost of a few spiders due to friendly fire, I'm sure, but definitely worth it. As one of the most expensive units in the enemy army. The bats have arrived as well, squeaking their way, while the chittering units of spiders bring them down. We did deploy most of our army on the left flank, and as we can see, the entire enemy left flank has completely collapsed, and due to that Vanguard rush. Stank is still moving around in the background, or was moving around in the background, but now she is going to peel away from her hag daughters, and will in fact try to dish out melee damage to the enemy Skullcracker, mostly to try to keep it in place, rather than to allow it to go after our spiders. Alright, and it does still want to move towards our melee troops, which does make sense. I definitely miss using these Skullcrackers myself. Had so much fun with them in the Drazueth campaign. What a freaking fun unit, just charging through droves of enemies, watching them all fly and lose massive amounts of HP. Anyway, looks like the hags and the spiders are having a pretty fun time. Love seeing the Incarnate Elemental towering over the enemies in the background as well. And it looks like the first enemy army is nearly destroyed, with the enemy lord having been nearly killed, and by the Incarnate as well. And not a moment too soon, as the reinforcements have arrived. And it looks like the Bull Centaur Torque will rush us, and we will try to take at least a few extra seconds to make sure that we kill off as many of the first enemy army's units as possible, or at the very least ensure that they shatter and aren't merely routing. Would you please hit this guy so he's done for? There you go. Okay, he just got crushed, or possibly poked by a spider. Not in a good way. Anyway, looks like the Bull Centaur Torque is now giving chase to our giant spiders, but that's alright. We'll lead them away, as the giant spiders are fairly quick. 86 speed, Strider, Woodsman, Vanguard deployment. They can reposition very, very nicely. And then, as soon as the enemy Bull Centaur Torque is far enough away from the rest of the enemy army, the hags will arrive in numbers to surround him. That isn't as fun as it sounds, and the Bull Centaur Torque will rapidly shed about 50% of its HP. Though a regular Bale Taurus arrives, a Great Taurus rather, arrives to help it out a little bit too late. You gotta admit, the lore of Hags is very flashy lore. Some real fun spells. Anyway, the Great Taurus is down to about half HP. The Bull Centaur Torque is in trouble, and there we go. Ostankya gonna cast a few spells in the midst of the enemy army. Both the Spirit Bear as well as the Spirit Brew, or whatever it's called, Witch Brew as well. That said, there are a lot of enemy laborers here, but, well, that just means they'll blob up and keep getting hit by those Witch Brews. There we go. Ostankya is definitely going to clean house in this particular episode as she keeps using those spells. We've also got our reinforcements arriving, and they will bring down that Taurus rather than forcing us to chase it, while it's time for the spiders to make their way forward and crash into those laborers. A third or fourth Lich Brew has hit the blob of enemies, and Ostankya will ride right through them to get at the enemy blunderbusses. Alright, she's been doing pretty good on that sled. She's no Tsarina Katrin in terms of the sled being threatening, but she's still pretty nice in terms of her casting. And damn, it looks like the enemy laborers and whatever units of the Chaos Dwarfs brought are going to be completely overrun. And by the looks of it, will in fact shatter, rather than continuing to fight. I mean, it's gotta be a scary sight to the spiders, the things in the woods in there, the flocks of Doom, the Incarnate Elemental, using that howl of it to reduce enemy leadership and speed. And Drajweth brought his army to its doom, and it was torn apart pretty darn quick. And once again, very nice job to Mother Ostankya. She definitely carried this particular fight. Alrighty, there we are. A very nice fight, if I do say so myself, and everything but Astrogoth was eaten by spiders. Speaking of the spiders, they did fantastic. Look at them. 300 to 400 kills for all of the giant spiders, and 100 to 200 for all of the hatchlings as well. I am very, very impressed there. The Mordheim Beowulfs also did pretty darn solid, but not quite as well as the spiders, though admittedly the spiders also do have a lot of, well, they chase enemies down and thus get a lot of extra kills and damage that way. The thing in the woods killed off the enemy Lord Aldrash Yalkaz here. Ostankya racked up 481 kills and 80,000 damage, which is pretty darn solid. Not really approaching the kind of casting capabilities that we saw out of Manfred in his campaign, where he was getting the occasional, 2,000 plus kills and hundreds of thousands of damage, but still pretty darn solid. And the Imrek campaign, where the mages were the stars of the show, kind of. Mages and eagles, man. But anyway, we can heal up. It is 8%, which is solid, I admit. Though, once again, we do need to fund our economy. And I'm gonna say risk it, as I always apparently do. Just let our army remain damaged. Alright, and we got a Chilean Pavis, which is actually a pretty decent armor piece for our Hag Witches. They got the missile block, and they are vulnerable to missiles, and they got a little bit of extra range damage, so why not? And we killed, and there we go, we got that Astragon trait, which is a solid trait, just not really for us. So we do at least have the benefit of the death lore, but I fear that this is not for Lord's army. They should really make this Lord's army instead of Lord, if it is in fact for only Lord, but oh well. At least we get the bonus spell resistance, which is still something. Hey, a Razor Standard, that's a nice find, but it doesn't necessarily need to go on you. We could put it on the spiders in theory. And they might need the additional... Well, actually, the giant spiders already have armor-piercing damage, don't they? Frankly, we should probably, at least for now, put it on the Watchman and the Knight, who definitely need the extra armor-piercing, and our fantastic units, they just need a little bit of buffing. There we go. And we may as well buff them up further... Wait, firing drills benefits these guys, but they're not a hybrid unit, so frankly, they should probably get the benefits of Best of the Court rather than firing drills, because the reload time does nothing at all for them. Which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. And a little bit of an oversight there. Anyway, we need to chase down Astrogoth. You can't reach him, but that's alright. Go. He doesn't manage to kill off any of our units, or... he killed 2 of the Growl of the Grove units, didn't he? What the heck, game? And then we got the useless non-SFO war banner. Alright, now. We should probably advance to either Kirik Vlag. Yeah, here's the problem. We can't really leave these guys here. As in, if we leave them, they'll just attack Navkazi. I suppose we could use you to recruit a bunch of spider hatchlings and use them to defend, though. Or rather, return here while we take maybe Temple of Heimkel. So I guess another problem is we won't be able to heal up and we'll need to... Oh, wow. This will take all of our movement range, won't it? We could go into channeling and then try to loop around like this, but it might be kind of a waste of time. You know, I'll go like this. It's not channeling, but it's also traveling in our own territory. Then we'll have you build some spiders. Can't go wrong with spiders, and we'll just do the basic ones. They're super cheap, both upkeep and recruitment cost-wise, and it also works out well. Mother Ostankya got a tax collector. I think we already gave one to this guy, right? Yeah, you already have one, so... not gonna do anything about that. We did the building this turn. We did rack up a decent amount of money, and I'm thinking now, just judging by how much money we racked up from fighting, we might want to invest in income from post-battle loot. At least a little bit further. We also really need to get those patriarchs on field, but that'll happen eventually. Anyway, the rest of that I believe is good, as in there's nothing to build and nothing to do. Prague will need to start collecting income in 2 turns once that stall is up and running. And it does feel like we needed at least one of these capitals. Oh, question for those of you who have already played the... Well, not the mod, but the rework for Kislev. Does confederating Kislev or the Orthodoxy delete this? Like, does this then stop working? Like, so we're not able to get the Great Orthodoxy and the Ice Court support, and are thus unable to use the boons anymore? Is that the way it works? Or... because it doesn't say anything about this. As in, what happens to them if you confederate? Maybe it would say, oh wow, okay, this is long. Filling a support bar to prevent negative effects, blah, 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 blah. Confederation. I don't see the word confederation in there, so. Well, if anybody knows, I'd really appreciate the information, because it will dictate as to how soon we end up confederating these guys. At least Borsursus isn't part of this, and minus 74. You're doing too damn well. Actually, you're not doing too damn well. You've got 3 territories only. Oh well. Alright, and the rest of this I think we can ignore. I'd like to... well, I don't see any more Cathian caravans as yet, but we definitely want access to Cathian units as fast as we can. Anyway, Ostankya, you've leveled up twice, and you know what, just in case you level up over the course of the end turn, I'm going to end the turn, and then we'll see. Ah! More car will move here, and that's actually not as great. And depending on how far Ostankya can travel in 1 turn. Mostly because we are not going to be able to defend this and reach these guys, and let's face it, we probably won't be able to get enough spiders to defend against 2 armies of Navkazi. Howling in the Woods is up and running. Here recruited at Plesk, Free Patriarch. Why, thank you, game. While trapping the scrawny rabbits of the Oblast, a huntsman is set upon by a wandering bear. The attack is beyond horrendous, his wounds countless and grievous. Yet, impossibly, he lives. It takes him 20 days to drag his broken body home. Oh, this is a Revenant reference. His survival is miraculous. Truly, Urson loves him. Patriarch, what do you have? Strong? I'll take it. Free armor. These guys are relatively light in armor until they get the war bear. And just out of curiosity, yeah, we can't get them yet, I think. Oh, wow, we're minus 1,000 gold per turn. These guys are expensive. 270. Wait, how much do Hagwitches cost? Just out of curiosity. You are just in range. Beautiful. Although you'll suffer attrition afterwards, but gotta do what you gotta do. So I wanted to see here. Yeah, 270 for the Hagwitch is exactly the same amount. Go figure. Alright, well, you need to stay and defend Navkazi in case Kragpaj Baruch comes a-calling, so you're gonna go here. We're gonna have you recruit more spider hatchlings. Ugh, income. And then Ostankya, we're gonna level you up, and then... you know what? We're just going to attack, I think. Sometimes when you level up, it kind of screws up the movement range, like kind of resets it. So I don't think we're gonna do that. Anyway, Board and Ribkin, you're going to go right to the edge of this territory. I do wish we'd give you a chance to heal more. And then you're gonna grab Frozen Landing, and probably stick around here for a while, at least until the Challengers of Corn are no longer a challenge. We don't really need Poacher's Bane, so I think we'll hold off on this, at least for now. And then pick up that Formalized Dogma. Yeah. Alright, that looks good. What about buildings? What do we have here? Alright, so Prague has deleted whatever it was that we deleted there. I no longer remember. Go for the Sawyer. And then, oh, it was a... ooh, Plesk. 3.4 cap. Ooh, wait, have you leveled up? You have not. Not so. Ooh, I guess. You're gonna go for the town. Yeah, it was the barracks that was deleted. And I guess we just gotta keep and purge the steps until our devotion rises more. Gotta remember that the hero recruit rank can be buffed up by power of the church, though. Just double checking with these, and we could go awaken the land, but frankly we're not generating enough money to make it worth our time. The extra growth out of Salyak is really nice, but it costs 50 devotion, which frankly we just can't really afford right now. If we collect money in here, we could get a 5, which ain't much, but it's not horrible either. It's not like we get bonus growth from this or anything. Eh, why not? Collect a little bit of cash. We'll eventually delete the barracks here, and then Prague 0 down to -4. It's only 200, but yeah, we can't be having minus whatever it was per turn. Let's also start training our first ice switch, I guess. Train new candidate, and it'll be 5 turns. Alright, fair enough. 2,000 gold, but, you know, hopefully money well spent. Let's tank it. Hit Morcar. And take his armor for yourself. Wouldn't that be amusing? Do we risk the auto-resolve here, man? Do we? I mean, it's still a battle. I guess we could do a non-cinematic, just a quick fight here. Warband around you. Oh, wasn't I going to get you a Strider? Oh, no, you already have the Strider. We should get you... Well, you already caused terror. I think that would give you bonus missile resistance. The thing in the woods has no missile resistance whatsoever, which is why it keeps getting wrecked by range stuff. Alright, fine. We'll fight this manually real quick. I just feel like I want to make sure that we suffer as few casualties here as possible, because most likely we won't be able to reach the settlement this turn, which will mean we'll have to suffer attrition.
Look at those impudent fools. They think themselves strong. Aye. But what is their strength to the leeching cold, the dark shadows, the vile woods? They will learn, won't they?
Alright, they will learn indeed, and I was originally not intending to make this a cinematic fight, but that was because I didn't realize that the garrison was being drawn out to join the fray as well. Nice little surprise, and I'm blind apparently, but all good. We're gonna fight this. We're gonna fight this in this manner. Chaos Chariots of Corn get focused down by our Vanguard deployed Akshina ambushers. Here comes a nice Spirit Bear into that blob of enemies, and wait, isn't the Spirit Bear supposed to leave some kind of damaging effect on these guys? Maybe it's only for a second or so, because I don't see the effect on anybody here. Not that it's a big deal, mind, or will change much of anything, but just curious. Anyway, looks like the Spirit Bear and the work of the Akshina ambushers has annoyed the enemy sufficiently to start moving towards us. Mother Ostankya continues riding around on her sled, which is moving real fast now. I'm very much enjoying it. Charging on in and accelerating. Oh, the acceleration that Wayfarer offers is so nice. Oh, can't wait to get Serena Katrin and the sled up. That's what I'm talking about. Certainly don't expect the old lady to do that, but she looks like she's having a pretty great time, doesn't she? Yeah, definitely a good call with that Wayfarer. The acceleration and, well, the deceleration not so much, but the acceleration alone is so worth it. And we did have Strider before, but this will make her so much more devastating, even when she's not casting. Alright, and she'll ride right through and then start casting in the faces of the enemies while continuing to use her very flashy spells. The first enemy army is pretty much done for already, hardly surprising. And just out of curiosity, we got 48 kills and about 11,000 damage on Ostankya. I don't believe she actually used any direct damaging spells, so that was pretty much all through, the sled work. There we go. The word sled escaped me for a moment. I thought it was, yeah. I don't know, man. Anyway, the enemy lord's down to about half HP and broken, and this is where I come to the realization that, the battle isn't over because the reinforcements from the garrison have arrived. Not that I mind, of course, and the first enemy army has been, by and large, completely destroyed before they get there. I guess Ostankya will also try to chase down the enemy lord, though being on that sled now might make her a little bit too fast, as it may make it difficult for her to actually attack the lord. I also didn't remember this, but I do like that the sort of magical attacks of the hag witches are colored to the lore that they use, which is really nice. So you get the yellow ones from the beast lore, etc., etc., etc. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm also thinking maybe instead of getting a fourth witch of the hag lore, we might want to get a fourth hag witch of the beast lore instead, mostly because I do like the idea of being able to summon two things in the woods, as it is very on theme for Mother Ostankya and her army. I actually find it really weird that Ostankya isn't able to summon things in the woods herself, or does... Gotta double check her quest items. Maybe the second one will give her the ability to summon things in the woods. Seems like a thing she should be able to do. It's kind of her signature unit. But anyway, Ostankya returns to the woods to find some of those enemy units that have joined the fray once more. As in from the enemy garrison. And actually, I'm not entirely sure what I was doing with her, just sort of scouting out the enemy, because I guess some of them were hidden, or whatever. Or actually, can they even be hidden? I think they can't. I think Mother Ostankya has vision of all the units in the forest, at least. Anyway, time to continue annoying those enemies. Some gobos gonna charge right into them, and then peel off. And into some more. There we go. I don't know how much damage that's doing, but it's got to be annoying, if nothing else. And into the back of those units of sneaky kids. I was just having fun using Ostankya's sled to annoy the enemy. It wasn't even using the other troops, but it is at last time to use them. Unfortunately, something I've realized is that the slow death ability, the damage over time ability that the spiders give is, I don't know, it's kind of an ugly effect. It's kind of difficult to see what the heck is going on because it covers everything. This is kind of the type of effect that I generally dislike. Alright, after this episode I'm gonna re-download the less effects mod. I don't know if this effect will be affected by it, as it were. I don't know if it's a new effect or old effect, or if it was even thought of. But I really hope it's not there, because it's, Granted, we will eventually have less spiders in this army and more things in the woods and incarnate elementals, but yeah, I would prefer not to have every single unit covered by this huge poison effect. Trying to enjoy the cinematics after all. Anyway, I do believe the enemy garrison has been by and large destroyed in the battle, as ours are just going to take a couple of seconds to chase them down. This was, if anything, or turned out to be, if anything, a more just screwing around on Ostankya's sled. Sled actually giggle. Alright, I didn't notice that the enemy garrison was going to join in because they were a different faction, and because it caused me great confusion. It's not a lot of money, but we need every single bit of cash that we can get, so we're gonna pardon the captives, and let's hope that we can occupy the settlement. We're just in range. Beautiful, we'll occupy. And we got some iron here as well as a port. Nice find. Stank enemy killed in battle. Draj's Hearthblades are up and running, or at least available to us, but it's not like we can afford them. Ritual Enforcer. Sure, why not? And Cauldron of Power is up and running as well. Ooh, explosive missile damage, winds of power, reserve capacity, mastery of the elemental winds for all of our hag witches, and enemy hero success chance. Probably not something we care too much about. Treasury map plus 1,000, and I never gave this a read, so I'll do this now. The Cauldron of Power withers and wanes, its arcane energy almost drained from constant use in Kislev's defense. Many materials will be required to resurrect the Cauldron's magic. Fortunately, such materials can be found in abundance within the realms of the Motherland's enemies. Simmering with powerful arcane brews, the hag's curses and incantations take shape to summon forth the spirit magic of the land. Suavely. Alrighty. The rest of you is good. This army probably not enough of a concern for us, but just in case, we're gonna level up. And, oh, that's gonna be a question. What's the likelihood we get any of these units in this army? Probably non-existent. But we still need to get 3 points in order to get into rally. And, frankly, a lot of our units are starting to rank up. Oh, in fact, I guess we can level up the spider hatchlings to full-fledged spiders now. We're not going to bother with the hatchlings in Ostankya's army, that's for certain. We'll have another spider-centric army that'll use both, but this one I feel is going to be, you know, encountering foes where we're fighting like 4 armies versus 1 or whatever. So yeah. I also recall that Mother Ostankya's quest battle is quite difficult, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, upgrade all of you. And there we go. Nicely spidered up. And she's not going to keep Herkshina ambushers, because she'll want things in the woods and stuff to replace them. And frankly, this might actually be too many spiders, but is there such a thing as too many spiders? Yeah, and you'll want a last hag as well. Funnily enough, Ostankya's army is actually a good choice for, you know, carrying around some units and leveling them up. There's also potential for getting a couple of snow leopards in here just to slow enemies down. How close are we to being able to recruit things in the woods? We need to wait until this is tier 3. So, not there yet, but getting there. Anyway, back to this. Since we're unlikely to put anybody in this army, I guess we are still using the Herkshina ambushers for a bit, so we'll get firing drills. Nothing else fits in this army. Firing drills it is, just to get a rally, and the next turn we'll want Urson's favored for all those beasties. Alright, what about you? You got 3 points to you. Nice. Magical reserves into... one with nature, not super useful. I guess we'll probably want to get the transformation of Kadon. Oh, this is the Manticore version. Oh, I got spoiled by the Eagle version. It's so much better. Yeah, get 1 point in each and then go into Arcane Conduit. Frankly, Ostankya is probably going to be taking most of the mana from Halial, so that's not going to change. Oh, I didn't realize the hags could steal tech. Huh, I thought we had to use the witches for that. Well, that's interesting. But anyway, for now, let's get smoke and mirrors, and out of these are probably... Well, let's get 1 point in everything. Alright, what about you? Death? That's easy. Spirit Leech maxed out, and then Life Leeching. We'll get you Wood Warden, and then Soul Blight is the next thing, because Soul Blight's fantastic. Lovely. Alright, you guys are good in case you get attacked. You did get several levels while fighting there, so that's nice. Let's get your restock. Root Marcher and... Receptive. I mean, we could keep you around, assuming we don't get a better Druzhina. Leadership +4. Not a big deal. I wanted an army with Druzhina. Oh, yes, we need to see what these guys do. So, regen for embedded hag witchers. Oh, right. I remember complaining about this in SFO when doing the my previous campaign, and it's the fact that Mother Ostankya does not provide regeneration to her follower hag witch heroes. What the heck is up with that? So we literally have an extremely powerful regen for them off every generic Druzhina Lord and not Ostankya herself, especially considering she likes having multiple hag witches. Seems like a major oversight in my opinion. Not that it matters over much. We'll overcome as we usually do, but anyway, I think we're ready to end the turn. Yeah, I don't want to... Well... Yeah, do it. Do it. We need to get potentially more Patriarchs on field, especially since, well, strong is okay, but there could be better traits. Skip, and unturn. Alright, let's see what we got here. Hey, Fator, Danny boy. He is probably going to declare war on us sooner rather than later as well. But frankly, the more factions that are fighting Boris Ursus will probably mean the earlier confederation of Boris Ursus, and I'd love to give Boris and the Bears a solid bear army. Sacrifice to Motherland performed, hero capacity and hero recruit rank for Patriarchs, and... what is this? Ah, yes, Ice Court. So, we got Frost Maiden of Tempest and Frost Maiden of Ice. I'm going to say we will start with Tempest. Why? Because we have the range buffing variant on them. Yeah, let's do Tempest first. And the range buffs will come in handy. You have leveled up as well, which means more construction reduction via Foreman. Wait. Oh, we can choose the Orthodoxy or the Ice Court adherence. But this is the thing that really matters. So for now, Foreman. Alright, good. Prague, definitely get that marble quarry, definitely get that market, and you're already collecting income. Beautiful, beautiful. The rest of this we are forced to ignore for now, unless we want to upgrade the Grand Courthouse. Why not? Help it, you're fine. Ish, minus the horrible public order, but there's not much we can do about that, and then there isn't much we can do about any of this either. This guy backed away, but that's fine now, because, ooh, Throggy. He running around, eh? How much does he hate us? Minus 180, or minus 86, yeah. If we do manage to get a Norse Canal, it probably won't be Throg. You're gonna grab Frozen Landing for us. And we're probably gonna need to recruit you some stuff as well. Hey, Boris, running around. Good job, buddy. Minus 25, ooh. Confederation of Boris is likely. Oh, Boris, you have one settlement? Oh, you better not die, man. Especially with this guy. You better not die and refuse to confederate. That would be not so great. Anyway, I guess we'll get Poacher's Bane. It's only one turn, and then we'll be able to get this. And then afterwards, we'll go through Iron Riverstone to get the construction cost reduction for all buildings. And definitely want to get that ASAP. Do we need this? I mean, it is 20 more growth, and we will eventually delete it. Yeah, fine, we'll get it for now. A little bit more expensive than I'd like, but this is what it is. Ostankya. We still suffer chaos attrition here? Oh, for the love of... Okay, you know what? You know what, game? We're gonna do Purification Chant right here. Too annoying. Alright, now you shouldn't suffer any attrition. Then we're gonna pop you in Ambush Stance. I'd love to channel instead, but ambush stance right here. In enemy territory, which means we won't heal, but we'd sound like we're all that damaged. And we're going to put you right here. And we're going to see if we can't make this ambush happen. Alright, and I guess we'll want to transfer the single Patriarch to this army as well. A little bit of heals. I doubt that we'll keep the Patriarch. At least in that army. And now this guy gets the channel. It's just kind of amusing to me. Alright, what I wanted to check was this. So you have reload time reduction for Horse Archers and Akshina Ambushers. And I figure we do a nice sort of Spiders and Akshina... all Kislev factions. Do a nice sort of Spiders and Akshina sort of army. I could do Kossars as well if we wanted it, but... oh yeah, we can use the Kossars as the base because they eventually evolve into Akshina Ambushers, and it's not like we can... we'll be building them immediately. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, anything else? Gormandi Mountains, we need to upgrade that Frozen Landing Village, and you just sit there. Probably gonna have to build you some spiders. These guys are... well, these guys can actually evolve into the first armored Kossars. Gonna be a while until you guys evolve into Streltsy, though. At least until they get more fights. Anyway, let's skip it. We do also have that quest available, but I'd like a few more things in the woods and stuff before we get to it. And the real critical quest is getting this up and running so that we get the... so we get Gotrek and Felix and the Golden Knight. Wait, or is it... Ulrich? No, it's Ulrika and the Golden Knight. Hey, the ambush it worked out. Sorry to you, Kragvaj Baruch, but I think that your army, compared to what we fought, is kind of pathetic, so we're gonna auto resolve you. The spiders got hurt. We got a free gambler's armor out of it, but I'm reasonably happy with that result. Not enough healing to be worth our time, so we'll pardon the captives. Lovely. And maybe I shouldn't have done that in enemy territory because we could have healed at the end of the turn, but oh well. Let's hope not a major deal. We also gotta watch out as our ball will be coming back down sooner rather than later. But okay, Throg's taking Sjoktraken. I think we'll want to back off to Yetchich because we've actually invested in it, and if I'd rather lose a frozen landing if Throg has a sudden war declaration. Interesting that Throg decided to avoid Crackerjack and go there, but, well, for now. You don't need that sort of battle. And I was originally intending to delete you, but you could deliver those spiders to our allies. Ostankya, you're gonna hit that Karak Vlag, which is very sparsely defended and should be auto-resolvable as well, as soon as we do the rest of this. Another unusual location. Wellity, what do we have here? Income from all buildings for local region owner. That's nice. That's real nice. I assume we don't lose. I can't believe I got 2. You know what? I'm now very worried about Throg taking this. Maybe I shouldn't have moved you. Oh well. I also want to give this a read. Does it have any... Yes, it does. Operating right across the old world, the Tilean Trading Company seeks to further its mercantile interests by controlling the docks where its trade ships harbor. Suavely. Alright, well, we'll keep that in place. Ostankya, you're getting kind of further and further away from that location, which is kind of making me nervous, but it is what it is. We'll auto-resolve this, I hope, unless those bats decide to die. Go here. How about now? Okay, you know what? You know what? This is what we'll do. Should we just let the bats die? Because we could let this guy... I mean, it's just, you know what, emerge and die. We'll put more spiders in Ostankya's army for now. Just to leech XP. Wait, how many spiders? She has 8, which is fine. Auto-resolve. Obviously a waste of our time, and occupy. Could have actually sacked it for... Ooh, Balalaika of the Arari. Very nice find as well. Damn, we're getting lots of nice buffing stuff. Frankly, I should probably transfer all of it to the guy. You know, the guy. Wait, potion of healing. Oh, we lose the potion of healing from Ostankya because of the Cauldron of Power, don't we? Well, that's a shame. What can you do? Anyway, I don't think Ostankya needs the bats, so we'll maybe carry the bats to this army. And I guess we have the Balalaika of the Arari on you, and the healing potion will probably go on this guy, assuming that nothing horrific happens to him. Kossar Hut. Well, I did want to put Kossars in this army, but we can't really afford them right now. So that issue still remains. And the rest of this, well, there's nothing to build, is there? Alright. Tech. Obvious choice, Iron River Stone. 9 turns, but construction... Wait a second. No. That's not the one we want. We want Gospodar Governance. Construction cost -25 for province capital and settlement buildings, which are the by far more expensive ones. You can get now various different things. Unbreakable gives you armor, melee defense, unbreakable, and leadership for the army. Vanguard is kind of terrible. Ice Shard wins a magic power reserve capacity for enemy and cooldown for spells. And Glacial Blaster wins a magic -4 for spells, magical attacks on you. Glacial Blast ability wins a magic power reserve capacity and spell resistance for enemies. Okay, that seems way better than everything here. I guess Unbreakable gives you the ability to actually fight, which is fine, but it seems vastly inferior to Storm. At least to me. Like, vastly inferior. And sure, this will make you tankier when you're on your bear map, but I'm gonna say Storm. Yeah. Alright, and the rest of this is probably fine. I guess if we replace one more bat with one more spider. There you go. And then Ostankya has 10 spiders, and we can replace some of them with things in the woods and other things as needed. You know what? Stick around. I know that they're costing us extra supply lines, which is painful, but at the end of the day, it's still giving us... This guy is sort of visible as a lord. That's kind of interesting. It's giving us extra items and XP on that lord, and he will lead another army. So yeah, end turn. Let's see what Throg does. Hopefully nothing, but possibly something. And, peace treaty. No. Okay. Boris, you're about to get wiped out, man. I don't like this. And you're refusing to confederate. And I'm not sure what we could do to make him... I guess we could try to head up there really quick and give him a settlement so that he survives. Superior Frostmaiden, what is this? Recruit the following here. Working on it. Hero action success chance. Funnily enough, I can make you a tech thief. Kislevite Kassar. Okay, that's definitely going on Ostankya. She needs the extra movement range. As does everybody always. And it looks like we can't reach these. Alright, so, first thing. I got decent items now as well, is figure out what we can lose here. We'll lose the militiaman, gain the Kislevite Kassar. Then, we need to take a look at Mr. Boris Ursus. -6. Oh, come on, man. Don't tell me he's lost his final army. We got a little bit of strength left, but... how the heck do we do this? Wait, join war against challengers of corn. 26, damn, that might have... Wait. He won't do military or defensive alliance. If we could make a military alliance with him, then we would possibly be able to get him into a war. But that's not happening. Disciples of Hushut, maybe? Okay, wait. What if we join your war against Legion of Chaos and Warhost of the Apocalypse? Then... Okay, wait. We can't have him die, guys. It's too dangerous. Then we have you declare war on the Challengers of Corn and the okay, not the Disciples of Hushut. Will this guarantee it, or are we better off? You know what? No, because he's already at war with this, and we'll have to declare war on a faction. I don't know which faction. Okay, wait. Let me figure this out. Is Throg still at Siok tracking?
Never yield.
I'm just theorizing that we could declare war on Throg as well. Go here. Nope. He's moving towards Lair of the Troll King. Looks like these guys are in trouble. We might actually need to help them. If we want to keep them around. And they're... Oh, well, they're getting a lot friendlier now. Let's do this. Getting access to their units is nice, even though it is at the cost of... Wow, Gem Cutter's Workshop gives us so much money. Damn. That is a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do this turn. I don't know where to look, man. Let's see. Recruitment cost and armies in province for one Ataman. I think we need the devotion. At least for now. Garrison leader is quite nice as well, man. The blue line is real solid, ain't it? I'm gonna say devotion for now, at least 1 point. The next point is kind of not as useful. Then we need to upgrade this immediately, Frozen Outpost, because that completes several quests for us. I guess we'll want the lumber yard, and we will want to Stankus hut, which does give us money. And the additional diplomatic relations with Kislev would have been nice as well, but we can't do it right now. Then we'll take a look at the Ice Court thing. We have Economist, income from all buildings, Architect, growth and construction costs for all buildings, Protector, devotion and corruption, reduction, and hero capacity for Patriarchs, as well as character experience gain. That is much better than everything here, because none of this helps in terms of armies. So yeah, Court Agent. Both the Patriarch capacity and the resilience. Character XP gain are nice. Yeah, Throg is definitely going to go for Siok Trek, and I hope that he can't reach Mr. Borodin here, who we're going to have get a couple more spider hat. Well, you know, I get a couple Kossars. They're not super expensive, although they are still unfortunately expensive for us. All right, but this doesn't really solve this situation. What factions can we declare war on right now? Because we need to draw him into wars in order to get him confederate. We could declare war on the Cult of Pleasure, which is super far. Not like they're ever going to love us, and eventually they'll probably ask to peace out. Yeah. Bleak Cold is also super far away. That seems like the thing to do. Although they might say no and break our agreement, making... that would be a problem as well. Oh, this is so risky. I really don't want him to die. Static Legion is an option as well. Alright, I guess that's what we're gonna do. You. We're gonna join your war against Legion of Chaos and Archaon. It's inevitable that we would have declared war on them anyway. And we're gonna ask for the military alliance, and... what's the likelihood that you'll also join war against the Challengers? No dice. And then we do this, and then we declare war on somebody. And we'll take your money. Okay, let's try it. Military alliance. There's Archie, hanging around. And, it does look like he did lose his main stack. Oh yeah, so he'd be dead next turn. Alright, now we have to declare war and hope that he doesn't say no. I can't believe he lost his main stack and still refuses to confederate. Alright, so we're gonna do this. Declare war. Call your allies to help. Good. Then, okay, wait, is that enough? Please. -4, alright, that's 2. Alright, declare war on the bleak holds. Call your allies to help. How's that looking? Big deal. -3 point. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We're gonna have to declare war on half the world at this rate. Oh, we can still build another hut there. Who's another option? You. Oh, we can't actually talk to you. Damn. Alright, then Throg, Bone Rattlers. I kind of don't want to deal with the Bone Rattlers right now. They will travel through our allied territories. Definitely not on the Imperial Wardens, though. Yeah, I guess on the Bone Rattlers. Some of them might ask for peace, some of them might not. Now, Boris, please, man.
You are the great guardian of our
Why you gotta screw me like this, dude? Wait. You can't reach him in one turn, can you? Because you have to cross the river. Oh, that's so risky. We can end the turn and hope he doesn't die. I guess we're gonna end the turn and hope he doesn't die. Oh man, I will be so upsetty. Anyway, you, Ostankya, are gonna go here. We're gonna take Fort Dwarslav and, ooh, might actually sack Uzkalak rather than taking it. Oh wow, it's moving to tier 5, but the garrison is... maybe we'll actually go for that first. Even though Ostankya is actually really needed up here and I got excited and didn't channel. Alright, you, sir, you're gonna need to move back this way. Go into Novkazi. Now this army needs to be a full stack immediately. And because we're declaring war on everybody. Karak Vlag. Lose the Kossar hut then. And then... I guess upgrade the Stanitsa. It's still a little bit expensive. If we raise Uzkalak, this faction will essentially be broken and they'll probably be willing to peace out with us and we can take Fort Dwarslav and start moving this way. Wipe out Archie and stuff while trying to defend with Borodin. And yeah, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna end the turn. I'm just gonna hope that this guy can't in fact reach this settlement. Oh, what if he can though? If he can, they die. Alright, I will try one more war declaration against Throg. Although his army will probably be too strong for you to handle unless you level up a little bit, but it is what it is. Declare war. Alright, how about now? Nope, still no. Oh, come on, man. Instead of doing all that, I could have threatened him into it, but the tanking of our reliability is so not good. Anybody else we could declare war on? I'd really prefer not to threaten because well, there is the ecstatic legions, but I feel like it's not enough, and they will walk through all of our territory and take help it if we let them. I guess we're gonna risk it. Although our reliability will recover.
Defender of Kislev.
Screw it. Alright, I'm just gonna hope. Let's see what happens. Don't you die, buddy. Don't you die. And, ooh, okay, he wasn't able to cross. Meaning this turn we should, in theory, be able to confederate him. Because our public relations or whatever, our friendliness will have risen massively. I just really hope that him... Oh, good lord. And, oh! He'll attack. Go figure. I wasn't expecting that. Do this, and then do this. And then retreat. I don't think he'd reach us, but it's okay. We can upgrade him. Okay. Okay. Everything's fine, guys. Nobody panic. Ally begins outpost construction. Oh, thank Lord. Alright. Alright, that's gonna work. Kislevite Casa for Borodin, yes. Consider Confederation. Yes, I am very much considering Confederation game. Thank you. And, oh, wow. Malachi. He's a little upset at Throggy. Alright, so you unfortunately didn't recruit your units. I take it this guy can't reinforce. Alright, you guys. Unit upgrades into armored Cossars. And what are we at? 591. Then, We're gonna have to abandon this territory. I don't see a choice in the matter. You are not able to reach him, unfortunately. Alright, fair enough. Ostankya, are you able to reach Kislev? You will, meaning you can sack it, probably with an auto result because there's basically no garrison. I forgot how terrible the base garrisons are for the Chaos Dwarves. It's kind of hilariously bad. Like, these guys would obviously stand absolutely no chance. They're just hobgobs, and the unfortunate aspect of this is we will suffer a fair bit of damage, but whatever. It is what it is. Sack it. Alright, another Ritual Enforcer and a Warhorse for you, sir. And a Van Horstman's Speculum. Nice. Alright, are you able to move into March stance? You are. But not far enough to travel to our own territories, so I guess... Well... You know what? Go into channeling instead. You could still use the mana. And this guy doesn't like us. Huh. Maybe we should just raise the place then next turn. I'll think about it. Either way, there's two more things to do. First of all, you have a choice. Ooh, upkeep reduction for infantry. I was getting this for range units, and this does apply to Kossars and Streltsy alike. Campaign movement range for 20% for the entire army. Oh, damn, that's good. Upkeep for Heroes Army, 10%. Oh, man. Wait. This is just straight up upkeep reduction for everything. And this is the same thing. It should be at least 15 for infantry, then. I'm also amused by the fact that infantry includes spiders, and I'm kind of just like imagining 3 spiders in a trench coat, essentially, but in like Kossar armor. I guess we gotta go for Quartermaster, although Logistician is really nice, but we can't afford stuff right now, and that's the big issue. And I do like the additional weapon strength as well, but, you know, it'll make up for it if we get a couple little Groms or something in that army. And this will also include the expensive heroes, patriarchs, etc., whereas infantry commander will not. Supplies. And one more turn until you're ready. Lovely. Yeah, probably don't want him to attack Frozen Landing. He is closer to Yechich, so he might still try it, as in we could try to set up an ambush. We could get Daj's Hearthplates. Oh, right. Well, I almost forgot this. Good lord. We're gonna have to fight all this off. Anyway, Confederate, no choice in the matter. Like so. Then, yeah, thanks for the Spirit Essence. Ally loses Outpost, yeah. You are going to...
Hear my command. Move out!
It's a lot of cost, but we're going to move out. Nobody can catch us, and we can still use these units, rather than recruiting new ones. Got some nice stuff here. I imagine that we won't be able to demolish them in time, but who knows. We could abandon them just to try to screw them over. But they'll attack, so probably won't happen. Diplomacy, next. Hey, Celestial Loyalists are willing to trade now. They are friendly enough for our purposes. Do this. Keep it friendly with all the Cathan factions. As friendly as we can, anyway. And Challengers of Khorne are willing to peace out. I think not, however. Alright, then you. You have firing drills maxed out. The... other stuff. Urson's protection, hard to hit. This is not super useful to us. You do have no spiders. You have 11 units. Can you win this fight? The problem will be Throg himself, who I'm not sure that you can fight. You have no heroes in your army, but I think Van Horstman's Speculum will be quite nice. Oh, we have to choose between that and Potion of Healing. And if you're fighting Throg, it's gonna be an issue. Maybe even keep the Potion of Toughness. I'm a little bit concerned about actually losing the Potion of Healing, to be honest. Yeah. What about basic armor? We did get a Gambler's armor, so you can have that. Sword of Swift Slaying and Sword of Battle are basically the same. Rest of this is not super relevant. You know what? We'll give another armor to Ostankya. She really doesn't need the Helm of Discord. She does just fine. We do, however, want to keep the Brass Cleaver there. I mean, we could transfer it, obviously, but... oh, wow, he had a Lichbone Pennant. Good for him. I'm just double-checking what else, what other things Boris had. Nothing crazy. But I do appreciate the Lichbone Pennant. Alright, I guess we're gonna give this a try. We could always back off if we start taking too much damage. The other option would be to... We still haven't invested in Frozen Landing at all, so the safer thing would be to go into an ambush stance right here outside the settlement and see if he goes after Yechich. We could also summon a Lord here just to distract him, although frankly I don't really like any of these Lords. And Boris is up in what? 3 turns. Oh, and we'll have to have Boris leading an army. Man, 2,000 gold per turn. It's iffy. It's all very iffy. Oh, yeah, you can act as bait. Like so. I like it.
Kislev's chosen.
And you will be in range, I think. You know what? Go right here, closer to this guy, so that you can... Yeah, there we go. All in range of each other-ish. Alright, then you can upgrade yourself. You're going to be leading a Kshina, so you will actually need the firing drills as well. And then you have your single point that I got too distracted to do, and I guess for this one battle will get you hard to hit. Because you might have to be fighting Mr. Throggy. Alright, well, that's that. Assuming that there are no buildings to build, and we are building the critical ones, and we can get those tankers. That's fine. It's horrifically expensive, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Might as well build a town here as well. Carrick flags, start on the Sawyer, and keep collecting income, because we've no choice in the matter. And I guess we're ending the turn, and we're gonna see what we're gonna see what we have to say. Alright, so... Archaon, or Archaon's guy, will presumably attack the Tower of Torment. And then we're gonna have to deal with all these 4, whatever number of armies running around. Yeah, decisive defeat. Now, this is a really fun start, you gotta admit. And we were discovered, but Throggy will still attack, and... Huh. The Akshina Lord is not reinforcing. That's not great. That's not great at all, but we can win this, so whatever. We are fighting this, certainly. Yo.
Such paltry mongrel dogs they send against us! We could kill them in our sleep!
Alrighty, here we go. The Boyars on horseback now, and I've always loved the look of the barding of the Kislevite units, both the Griffin Legion and the Boyars. It's pretty fantastic. I can't wait to get a few of those Griffin Legion on field. But for now, we've got a pretty lovely looking battle ahead of us. Throg has brought a full stack in between our own Boyars army and the incoming reinforcements. I think we're just 1 unit short of a full stack, so nearly on par. Of course, the enemy have a legendary Lord in Throg, and he does have regen and that scary copious vomit. Unfortunately for him, we have a lot of range units that make up our army, and Throg is still a big old target even with that missile resistance, and will still be very vulnerable to range fire. Assuming that we can take a nice position, and it looks like the enemy will indeed let us do so. Frankly, I assumed that they would have moved towards us, so we had deployed here, where they would have had to ford the river twice and had to deal with this sort of impassable terrain right here. But if they're going to allow us to take position, we'll force them to ford the river here instead and use this impassable terrain to protect our left flank. Everybody's going to move into position themselves to get ready to meet the Norskins. We've got our 3 units of armored Kossars up front with a hole in the line for the Boydanov's brawlers to fire their blunderbuss Streltsy guns. And of course all the piles of units of Kossars behind them. Should the Kossars ever run out of ammunition, then we can send them to the front lines. Anyway, and just as we did when we fought the Warriors of Chaos, or Warriors of... the Cornate faction, we're going to send the Ice Guard forth to try to annoy some of the enemies. I also got to point out that while the Marauder Berserkers are still going to very much be a threat in melee, especially with that 56 melee attack, they only have 20 armor, and unlike SFO, what they don't have is the Weather the Storm ability, which I believe gives them an extra 20% missile resistance, or 30% missile resistance, I don't remember. Bunch of missile resistance when they're out of melee. Without the advent of that particular ability, these berserkers are going to be very vulnerable to missile fire. So once again, the Ice Guard will continue annoying them, combining the Frostbite to slow the enemy down, plus forcing the enemy to ford the river, which slows them down as well. And it looks like it's only this 1 unit that was being fired upon that is moving towards the Ice Guard, but that's alright. Where's their speed? I wanted to check what their speed was at. 22 No, it was 22 with just frostbite, 32 with the river, and then I assume they'll speed up to 40. There we go, once they've stopped fording. 8 speed loss for just crossing the river is pretty darn solid, though, so we should be able to take decent advantage of it over on our left flank. Anyway, the poor unit of Berserkers is in the lead, but it does look like the rest of the enemy army is following. It kind of does make sense that it is a Berserk unit that attempts to rush us first without even waiting for the rest of the enemy formation. Unfortunately for them, we have pistol and we have bow and arrow, and this one unit is going to get focused down and torn apart absolutely in seconds. I don't know why I said it like that anyway. The unit's done is what I was getting at, though they will stay for a long time. Damn, they're still here? Okay, there we go. Now they're shattering once they're down to like 2 units and completely wiped out. Oh, they should have shattered like, well, I'll say a little bit earlier. Anyway, following those units of Berserkers will be the enemy units of Marauder horses, but they probably should have actually sent those guys into melee and looped around us rather than using them in range. An enemy Skinwolf Werekin, however, will charge forth and immediately kill 4 units of armored Kossars with his claws. But not to worry, our Boyar is here to meet the Werekin in battle. The rest of the enemy units is moving in, going to try to plink away at them with our pistols. Not too much damage on them, but, well, every little bit counts, and they're here to block the enemy range attacks off with their armor and shields. Here come the trolls, or here came the trolls. Slaanesh giggle. Or maybe not. But anyway, the trolls have a very, very bad time against those blunderbusses, shedding almost all of their HP just as they charge in, and in fact, not even being able to get their charge. Throg did manage to get a vomit off on one of our units, but now we switch those blunderbusses to fire on Throg, together with, I want to say, 3 or 4 units of Kossars. And he is very, very quickly brought down by the sheer amount of range firepower. Down goes Throggy, lying in the field together with his beloved ice trolls, and the age of the beast doesn't look like it's gonna come all that soon. Anyway, the enemy continues fording the river. They have plenty of marauders, horse, and infantry alike to charge towards us. And we still have a fair few to deal with, but that's alright. The Bordenov's Brawler is gonna start getting into that brawl, as they'll use the axe heads of their blunderbusses to hit the enemy. Berserkers in the fight now with our twin blade. Oh, you gotta love those blades of theirs. They use the ice guard weapons of the Watchmen in the night, though admittedly the Watchmen did take a fair bit of damage, losing about half of their HP to the fight against the enemy Berserkers. And it looks like the Skinwolf Werekin has returned and will kill off a few more of those Watchmen, and the Boyar will move in to try to help him out. Ouch. Alrighty, and it looks like the enemy Skinwolf Werekin shatters, and with the enemy hero having shattered, the last of the enemy units that were still willing to fight will shatter, and the battle will go to us. Very nice. A pretty darn cool fight, this one, if I do say so myself. I'm actually glad that we declared war on Throg earlier than I had originally been expecting, because this was a pretty fun one. Plus, we, I guess, get to get Throg's defeat trait on Mr. Borodin here. And I guess we'll be keeping him around after all. Perhaps not the trait that I had originally anticipated on getting on one of our lords, but whatever. So you gotta roll with the punches, and sometimes you serendipitously get a nice lord. It just kind of happens sometimes, just by virtue of them participating. Anyway, a decent amount of the enemies will be booking it on out of there, and we'll try to delete as many of them as possible, as otherwise we will have to chase Throg down. I just want to watch a few more arrows smack into those Norskins. Punish them for moving towards us. Although I guess we did declare war on them, but, you know. Maybe we should be thankful that they moved towards us instead. Anyway, I believe that's that. We got a little bit of chasing to do, but most of our army is too slow to chase Norskins down because they move faster than standard infantry speeds, generally speaking, so we've only got the single unit of Kosovo dervishes to hunt enemies down, but they can do it off-screen. Alrighty, a very, very nice fight and some more much needed, very much needed cash as our reward, as we're still very much negative on that end turn. But yeah, Throg defeated, Arbol defeated, I mean not destroyed as in their factions, but still defeated, Astrogot defeated, all in one episode, pretty darn solid. A great day for Kislev and therefore the world. Anyway, great job to these guys. I believe our last cast of Kislevite warrior will be able to be upgraded into armored Kossars, and these guys are, well, probably going to take a while before they become Streltsy, but they're on the way. We will take the money. Gotta take the money. And I'm sure this will be a pretty big help to, oh man, Archaon. We really need to move Ostankya to, oh, you're gonna still suffer attrition and not heal. That's a shame, but it is what it is. Yeah, these guys are gonna follow, so what we need to do, also, what do you have again as your trait? Vanguard. Leadership and fighting against warriors of chaos? Yeah, sure, fair enough. Go to Frozen Landing. I guess we will want to upgrade it. Maybe Saber Skin destroyed. Ooh, wow, these guys actually managed to destroy it. Enemy killed in battle, another tax collector. I don't think we have another province ready for that. Yeah, I think we have to break this threat, don't we? Meaning we should probably erase Uzkalak. We got a lot of money out of sacking it after all. Anyway, training complete. Good. An unusual look. Is that the third? What the heck is going on? All of my unusual location... Wait. Volksgrad. Or is Volksgrad? What's this one? Snowy Hamlet. Immunity to snow attrition. Yeah, I already have that. Leadership for all region owner armies. Against warriors of chaos. Yes. Yes, game. Why? You've been avoiding me for so long. Anyway, from the snow, the ascetics came, the winter's seclusion having honed their knowledge of how to choke the life from Ulrich's greatest enemies, the Ruinous powers. But they're still my favorite powers. Anyway, great. Great. Swovely and wonderful. You two... Alright. We'll march down to kill this guy. We really gotta deal with this. I have... Yeah, this is concerning. Go here. Kill this. Auto-resolve. Oh, you gotta be frickin'... Okay, manual fight real quick. Sorry about this one, guys. I have no choice in the matter. And the game leaves us no choice. I suppose this will at least reduce casualties. Oh, so I guess the game, since these are hybrid units, it's kind of considering the Watchman and the Knight to be a sort of melee troop. They're not going to stay in this army, because this isn't going to be a melee-centric Kossar army. It's really our Streltsy army, with some probably beast units that are going to be helpful and reinforcing all that. Alright, everybody just get ready to blob up. We're going to keep you back because you were severely damaged in that previous fight. I kind of don't like the way that these hills are looking, though. This is a little bit concerning. As the they might allow the trolls to charge us. Well, depending on if the enemy actually moves towards us or not, which I'm willing to bet that they will. You can go in front as well. You guys can act as a flanking reinforcement. Like so. Oh, I should have upgraded you or leveled you up into... armored Kossars first. Well, not a big deal. Anyway, start battle. Go. Will the enemy head towards us? Indeed they will. And you guys go after the horses. You guys get ready to move as well. Got a nice couple of volleys in there. And okay, you guys will go after this. You guys back up. You get ready to countercharge the trolls. It's going to be needed. Your anti-large is going to be needed there as well. Anyway, hey, you're going to charge. You're going to attack this troll unit. You're going to attack this troll unit. You're going to move. You're going to charge it as soon as you're able. You guys are going to move on in. You guys are going to switch to firing on the trolls. And it didn't quite work out like I wanted it to, but oh well. Just surround them. It shouldn't matter over much anyway. And then quickly debuff them just as they charge on in. Oh, lovely. Alright, you guys kill off the range unit. You can maybe move like this. And we should be good shortly. You should also make sure that you don't get yourself killed like this. Alright, you guys move. Get ready to fire upon those trolls with your blunderbuss-like things. I can select you. That'd be swell. Alright, and we're more or less good here. Around this guy, let's move these guys forward. And by this guy, I mean the enemy lord. We just need them all to shatter. What the heck are you doing? Why did you move like that? You moved behind the armored Kossars. This is wrong. It's so wrong. Alright, just need to defeat the enemy lord, and I think the battle is just about ours. Alright, we don't need to... I think we don't need to chase them down, as in this army should in theory be destroyed, but let's just, in case, make sure that the enemy lord dies as well. And nearly there, bud. Probably could have sent the spiders to chase some of the enemies down, but I'm too lazy to wait for it, so we're not gonna. Hey, you know, you can help with this. I kept them out of the battle because they were so severely damaged. Come on, bud. You got this. Why must it take so long to I'm sorry about this, guys. There's nothing we can do about it. Well, the game made it a necessity. 16 losses, a little bit more than I'd like. It was my fault for not countercharging the ice trolls and going for the regular trolls instead. Probably could have stopped both of their charges. But was just trying to get through it as quick as possible. Anyway, a little bit of money or a little bit of healing. What do we got? 423 versus 5%. Take the money. Still take the money. Alright, now, Malachi is there. I assume he's not at war with any of these guys, so they're all going to head towards us. Yeah, he's not at war with any of them. And they all are only at war with us now, I presume. Yep, only at war with us. Man, I'm loving this start. It's so fun. So many enemies. No relic sword for you. In fact, take the relic sword and the sword of battle and fuse them into fencer's blades. Much better item. Anything else worth... not really. Yeah, we're okay. Then, okay, you are still going to be the leader of this army. You're level 1 and you're level 7 now, though I don't dislike your trait, admittedly. If you go here, we will still be able to land, so you're going to go here. Into this territory, Frozen Landing. And you're going to move in as well. Then...
This land is ours.
This land is your land, etc. Plesk. Yes to the money upgrade, we still need it. And yes to the upgrade at Navkazi, one more turn. Oh, I almost cancelled that, that would have been... After all that time. And we also need to get the Widow's Tree up and running, including for our capacity, but our money, it ain't there. Alright, Ostankya, are you able to auto-resolve this? And raise it? You are not. Alright. I think I will fight that between the episodes and just raise it, and then we'll move on after, rather than ending the turn here. What we... I mean, I do want to keep the Kosovo dervishes and horse archers, because I think we can turn them into... Okay, transfer this. And then... 15 out of 20, eh? Okay, take the 2 archers. And then take the 2 spiders, they're super cheap, and you're at 19 out of 20, but you're going to get a Frost Maiden. Tempest. Like so. Yeah, we're 1,000 gold now. Ah, Deepwood Branch from getting this. Lovely as well. Superior Frost Maidens. If only we had more, otherwise I'd make use of her to steal tech, but anyway. The rest of this looks good to me, I guess. Bats could still be useful to tie up enemies, but I guess the horse archers can sort of do the same. Anyway, I was thinking that we're only allowed to get Winged Lancers, Griffin Legion, etc. if they get leveled up through Kosovite dervishes. So these guys have to survive in order to do that. And we're going to put them in Boris's army. Frankly, we're probably going to do the same thing with the other army as well. But anyway, while I like your trait, we're going to have to transfer this. We have too much supply line nonsense going right now, and you're level 1. This takes us down by 500 gold per turn, which is not nearly as bad, which I guess also means we can build this. Though it is iffy. Anyway, folks, with that, we are more or less out of time, and I am going to call this particular episode here. I can't believe we have 3 frickin' locations. It's amazing. And so, who's Draika fighting? Oh, we still can't see her. I want to ally with Draika. Well, as long as she doesn't fight Kislev, who are frankly doing a fairly good job at wiping out the Bone Rattlers. I'll fight this little garbage battle between the episodes and raise Uzkalak, and then we'll head to Fort Dwarslav next turn, and then start moving this way possibly. Or, if not, peace out with these guys and then move here quickly to try to fight both Archaon and these guys. I'm not so sure that this one army, or what we have here, will be sufficient to fight them.
Maiden of the Frosts.
Depending on how quickly they can reach us and land here as well. Oh, well, this army is garbage, but the others very well might not be. We will take too long to upgrade this, and we don't have the money anyway. Anyway. Pretty darn good episode, so I'm excited to see more next time, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold for the longer episodes, and I forgot to do that, to say that again. But anyway, all glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.